So hi guys, my name is Yash. I'm a ECBA certified business analyst. Currently, I am looking for jobs and preparing for interviews. So I thought, why not prepare with you guys? You know, you awesome people. So yeah, what if an interviewer asks, what is a requirement? Like for example, what is a requirement? And give me a good example of a requirement. Now, as a BA, for example, as a ECBA certified BA, I imagine myself as a BA already, but yeah, that is the thing. Uh, the definition in the BBOC is requirement is a usable representation of a need. Okay, so that's what I'm going to explain. How I will give you the answer. Like for example, if I tell you a simple answer, which if interviewer asked me what is a requirement, I would say requirement is a clear representation of a need. It bridges the gap between stakeholders' expectation and the solution that needs to be developed. And I'll give an example. For example, in a bank, if a user needs to transfer funds with his own linked account, within his own linked account, that is also a kind of a need, a requirement, right? It is this requirement is critical for users' need and also for the business goals for digital banking. Okay, so this kind of an example which I'll give, and I think that would satisfy the interviewer that I know what is the requirement. But anyway, I've prepared some slides so that it's kind of easy to understand. So as you can see, what is a requirement? A requirement is a clear and a usable description of something that business you or user need, right? Um as we know, I don't know if you know or not, but as a BA, 80% of our job is to collect requirements. So to understand what is a requirement first is the most important thing, and normally we just do theory, and there's no practical. So I'm just explaining you from my perspective what I see. So the purpose of a requirement, it acts as a bridge between the business needs and the technical solutions. Yes. Value. Requirement helps solve problems, improve processes, or meet specific goals. It is so important because, as you see, if there are no requirements, we cannot solve problems, improve processes, or meet specific goals. Right? It's a very simple thing to understand, but sometimes I don't know about other people, but when I was reading the book, I didn't focus much on these aspects. I was focused more on theoretical, passing the exam and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, the characteristics are they should be clear, testable, and valuable to a stakeholder. So for example, if I give you an example here, in the banking domain, for example, if a customer is allowed to transfer funds within a linked account, uh, where it's clear testable is because it should also mention that when he transfer the funds, they should come with two-factor authentication, which is very very important, right? You transfer funds, so there's a code which you put, so that is very very important. The code also comes in the email sometimes, right? So the two-factor authentication mentioning there in the requirements when a person gives you a stakeholder gives you a requirement is very very important. So that's why it's like characteristics, they should be clear, testable, and valuable. So yeah, let's go to the next slide. So yeah, these are the I've given some examples because I think when I'm explaining, I want you to see it and feel it what exactly, so that I'll be bringing this videos on every topic, so that it's very very clear to understand, right? So first example is banking app. It's a functional requirement. So there are two types of requirement, as you can see. I don't know if you have seen in the back page. So there's like two type of requirements: functional requirements and non-functional requirements. So Functional requirements are basically what the system does. Okay, and non-functional requirements are how the system should behave, its performance, usability, etc. I'll give you an example further with this so that you understand it better. I just wanted to show you a definition. Okay, so banking app, functional. It's a functional requirement. The system shall allow users to transfer funds between their own accounts using two-factor authentication. See, this example which I gave before earlier. So this is so important. Like, this is a functional requirement. It defines a specific feature or capability of the system in the bank. So the system should allow the users to transfer funds between their own accounts using two-factor authentication. So if you have done a GPay, right? If you are doing Google Pay and there is a self-transfer option there, right? So when you self-transfer yourself, you have to put the code which you have in GPay, right? So I think that is also part of two-factor authentication only, so that you authenticate, that you know the code and that you are only doing it. So it's very very important for security reasons. So e-commerce website, this is also a functional requirement. The website should allow users to filter products by price, brand, and rating. Okay, so this is very interesting. Like, the website should allow users to filter products by price, brand, and rating. So it's so important, because instead of scrolling and just searching all the products, the website will just, let the customers filter products by price, the brand, rating. It becomes so much easier, and customers, uh, it 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 helps the website to grow its business because customers love it, right? At the end of the day, everybody needs is fast paced nowadays, and everybody needs things very fast, kind of things. So yeah, this is a great functional requirement. Uh, Describes a user facing feature. Okay, perfect. So let's move on to the third one. It's appointment app, non-functional. Okay, the system shall send an automatic email reminder 24 hours before a booked appointment. Oh my god, this is such a great requirement, I think, because normally when we are like uh, taking appointment, for example, if I'm taking an appointment of, you can say, a doctor. So if the doctor uses his appointment app, it would be so cool. Like, I will get an email and I will get all the details where to come. So I think this can be a great use case for doctors, I think. Yeah. uh, Super useful. This can be considered non-functional, obviously, if the focus is on timing or automative behavior. So it's basically because specifying certain time, so that's why it's non-functional. Okay, perfect. So want a pure non-functional example? Obviously, love it. I love non-functional. So this is a performance requirement. This is non-functional. The system should load the dashboard within 2 seconds under standard network conditions. So this is a non-functional requirement focusing on performance and user experience. So this is so important, in functional and non-functional, as you see from what I get. Okay, so functional is basically it helps user to do a certain thing, right? Like, for example, transfer funds using two-factor authentication between linked accounts, or select products by price, brands, and ratings. But the performance one, or the non-functional one, is basically on time, testability, kind of stuff. So like, the system should load the dashboard within 2 seconds. It's so important because if it doesn't, normally, nowadays people's retention is very less. So it would, obviously, some people will just quit it, like they won't look at the app. So it's very very important for the app or anything, any dashboard, to load in certain seconds, right? So it gives you kind of a very smooth experience in that way. So yeah, let's move forward. So as you see, functional is what the system must do, and non-functional is how the system must perform. It's so important to understand. um, You can also use a phrase, a requirement is a business need plus value delivered. Hmm. That's also profound. A business need plus value delivered. So I'll tell you this, I'm just reading this PPT right now. I'm not preparing it. I'm just, going with the flow, understanding what I know and what I can explain. So for the interview, you can practice your examples out loud, like I am doing, and use simple language. Record in simple language. But oh my God, I'm doing the same thing. I think you guys should also do it. If you're not going to post it on YouTube, it's fine. But do it in person. You can use Yodlee and ChatGPT and a lot of tools. There are a lot of tools out there. So I think uh, I think I should leave. But it was great. Just explaining people what I'm going to prepare. And my main motive here is not to just make videos. I want people to understand simple things before interviews, so that they don't fumble like me right now. I'm fumbling, right? So that's it. We'll take a leave, guys. Thank you. Thank you for watching.